and welcome to another episode of Giving a Hoot with Ryan and Luke. Today we got a very special Union Omaha player guest, longtime listener, first time caller, Gabriel Claudio. And Gabriel, you prefer to go by G, correct?
Yeah, G's good.
All right. So I just want to make sure that everybody who is watching our Twitter understands why there was just a lot of capitalized G's in there. But no, really excited to have you on. It's been a fun first pro season for you. It seems like, definitely on a squad that's getting used to it. A lot of first time guys, a lot of guys new to the system, learning with J Mims, and you're one of those. Coming from trialing with Phoenix Rising to coming up here and signing on to your first pro contract with the best team in League One. Man, it's a great story just there. But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Came up playing American football. Played soccer as well, but American football was always my first sport, true love, and I always took that serious. Yeah, I always took that super serious, and then eventually got to a point when I was about 18, maybe. I hadn't touched a soccer ball for probably 2 years, and I finished my first American football college season, and it was just too much for me. It was my body was going through it, and so I just decided to make the switch. There was a junior college coach that watched me in high school for soccer, and I gave him a call. I hadn't talked to him in ages, and I'm like, "You still got that scholarship for me?" And he said, "Yeah, come on down." And ever since then, that's where it started.
And awesome. That was Yavapai?
Yavapai, yeah, with JP.
It seems like they put out some terrible soccer players. Absolute worst.
Something like that.
No, we're gonna throw you some questions here. I think Ryan has one because you're from Arizona, right?
Yes.
All right. Who is the greatest Arizona Cardinals player, and why is it David Johnson?
Larry Fitzgerald is it for me.
So I went to the University of Northern Iowa, so big David Johnson fan.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, no, Larry Legend is the guy.
He's awesome too. Yeah, I was schooling Luke that David Johnson has shoes in the Hall of Fame because of his career long kickoff return for 108 yards. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah.
All right. So
we knew we had
to let him get that one in there because he was chomping at the bit this morning for it.
Go Panthers.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No. So obviously, like you jumped around a little bit in sports. Soccer's something you must have always liked because you went back to it. You always go back to the things you love. How did that work with your family? Because they supported you. Obviously, you went collegiate with American football, and then you have one season. You decide, no, I'm getting beat up. Doesn't quite fit with everything that I was hoping for. I'm going to go play soccer. Did they give you a crap for it, or were they like very supportive? Because I've met your folks, and I could see it going either way.
Yeah. So to be very honest, they wanted me to play soccer. Like so my dad was always he was a soccer player. He never played football. I think I was the first one in my immediate family who played football, and they wanted me to play soccer. Like since the start, they've always pushed that. And so when I made the jump back, they were obviously super happy. But if it was the other way around, it might have been a different story. But yeah, they were super supportive, super happy. But yeah, I could see where you're coming from. My mom's a feisty one, so she can give me a bit of stick sometimes.
Well, hang on. This is Wikipedia, so you might have to correct me. But you had quite a few accolades in high school football too. and set some records and stuff. So it wasn't like you were bad at football, American football.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good athlete too. So making the switch athletically probably didn't hurt either.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It actually, when I came over, though, so the one thing I had above everybody was when I first switched was just the athleticism, the strength, speed, and stuff like that. But the one thing I had struggled with was stamina, because it's just a different type of running. And so I was gassing out in games, cramping up, and I was like, something needs to make a switch.
Well, I mean, this season you've gone up against a couple MLS sides, a lot of good League One sides. You don't seem to be getting gassed quite as bad. So, as you said, very different style there. But I gotta pull this because it's, I guess still kind of relevant pop culture. I mean, I'm old as well. I'm not as old as him, but I'm older.
Almost.
And so like pop culture lasts like 5 years for me. So it could have been, but you basically just pulled a Ted Lasso.
I did.
Like, all right. So like you're the Ted Lasso on the pitch. Like,
from football to soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I gotta ask this though. With the guys out there, a lot of them not necessarily, from the country, didn't. Some of them have been playing soccer and only soccer, and that's only ever been the sport that they ever looked at. Maybe golf once in a while, but we won't hold that against them. Who would you pick for your starting lineup for American football team? Like, who would be the guys that you would have to have on your team from Union Omaha?
Ooh. I'd put Shido and Dion probably. Oh, I'd put Shido and Ryan out wide, playing receiver. Just Shido has hands, and Ryan's just he's super athletic, and he's a dual sport guy. He can hoop a little bit, so figured it'd be there. Maybe throw JP out there too. Sure, I'd put Shivani in there, but if you guys saw him throw a football, you guys would have a laugh. Dion at running back, that little guy take off, and he's like a little bulldozer. And I'd have my guy Connor at quarterback. He sees the field in soccer, so I figured he'd see it pretty well in football too.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, Ryan, you actually played American football, so
yeah,
seems pretty solid.
My only correction is that Dion's name is Abs. We call him Abs Acock. And if you want to take that back, we would appreciate it.
I got it. Abs is that running back.
Yeah.
That guy in his Instagram, man, he's always flexing on his
Instagram, and
exactly,
he's thirst trapping out there.
I know. It's so funny.
All right. We'll calm this down. We'll pull it back into the sport, pull it back into Union Omaha sphere a little bit. You had a tough Open Cup run. I mean, it was tough more that we kicked ass. We had a very tough game against a League Two side that somehow now has players playing in the championship, and not saying they pulled ringers in, but they pulled ringers in.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But then you go on and you're playing against Chicago Fire at Soldier Field. Like, when you signed on to Union Omaha, did you see that happening?
I didn't see that happening, but I'll leave it at that. I didn't see that happening. I'll let you.
All right. Now, 130 minutes later, 140 minutes later, you'd beaten the Chicago Fire. Now, that's got to be like, as a guy in his first year pro, but that's just got to be amazing,
Yeah, it was it was. I mean, you don't get to experience that. Like, I would say most soccer players don't get to experience that. A third side being the MLS teams. Who knows if any of us will get the chance to do that again? You know, it was unbelievable, and I don't know, that feeling that you get, you know, from those games was unreal. Like I was cramping up. I think I came out in like the 118th or something, and I was running on the field like on my heels, chasing after the guys when we won because I was just so excited. I didn't care if I cramped again. I was so excited. It was ridiculous.
Like that paired with coming back, getting that home environment at UNO Stadium there against Northern Colorado, where we soundly beat them, not in league play, so we don't get 3 points for it, which we could use. We'll get to that later. Like that feeling, because that was only your third game in Omaha and your third field that you played at in Omaha. Like how coming into that, knowing that you were going to play on a baseball field for the most part, with them playing in these downtown soccer stadiums with like electric fan base, like how'd that feel? Like with having that, knowing you had that power of I'm gonna call it a soccer town. I mean, it'll get there, but having that behind you.
So I was injured for that game, that Open Cup game. I had just done my ankle, but I was up there. Me and Dion were up in the stands above the supporter section, and it was unreal to I think Dion has a video of me celebrated, going crazy after the second goal or something like that, and you guys going crazy down there, and it was. I had felt it before, because was Fuego before that?
Yeah, Fuego was before that, I think. Yeah, it was after the Menace, but before Northern Colorado in Open Cup.
Yeah, so I had felt it before, you know, but so when we scored that second goal in Northern Colorado, I'm above you guys going crazy at UNO, and that was unreal. Like you guys are unreal every game. When we're down by corner kicks and stuff, it's
it's good. That's a question we got. So if you listen, Patrick Walsh is someone that sends a lot of questions in, but doesn't live in Omaha. But he just asked, he's like, one of the big things he asks is, what are the things we do that you guys can hear and you guys can feel? Because I'll be honest, sometimes when we're on the berm, we're not sure how much that sound is traveling and what it sounds like just being in, especially in Werder Park. So what types of things, like obviously at corners you can hear it, any other times you can hear us?
So yeah, you guys do a good job when it's all together, and we're actually performing at home, you know. We can hear you guys definitely, but it makes it a lot better when we're on that end, either going to goal or defending that goal, and corner kicks come that side or the ball's that side. We hear you guys, but yeah, it's down on the other end. It is tougher to hear you guys because it's an open stadium and it's a baseball field, you know. But no, you guys, yeah, you guys do real well up there. Like it's and all the trash talk you guys give the other team when we come down there, and like when say a ball goes out of bounds for a corner kick, and I can tell it gets to those guys. You can see it get to those guys. So
now we've had a pretty heavy road schedule so far, so you've gotten a taste of most of the fan bases around the league. I think the only ones you haven't are Greenville now. And away at Fuego.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Northern Colorado, but they keep jumping around stadiums even worse than we do. So I'm not sure how bad that's going to be. Like what's been the toughest environment to play at so far in League One?
Environment, crowd wise, I'd say probably we played Madison, I think, first game of the season, and they got a good outing for that one. I remember that, and they had a good fans. They're the way that stadium's built. I really like the way that stadium's built. Like how their fans are right there.
Fun fact on that stadium: it's also a baseball stadium. They just did a better job converting it.
Okay, yeah, true. They did a lot better job. Yeah, because we're warming up and all these drunk guys in our ear telling us, "Go sit down. You're not going in," because I came off the bench that game, and they're right in your ear. It's a good environment. Richmond had a good environment as well. Yeah, I think those two are the two best other than ours. I mean,
he's just saying that because those are 2 away games I've made it to so far. So I mean,
yeah, I can hear you up there.
Yeah, but like being at both those games, Madison's one that's always a tough one, just because what the flock does. It's rare praise we'll give them because it's not a rivalry, but they do make some noise. That talking guys now, this is the 3rd year with this. It's intimidating. When you're out there and you've got an angry fan base, which is kind of what we hope to do at Werner Park. Some days we do better than others, but with that. On the other side of it, at the not League One level, you went into a sold out Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that game, but I know like just that stadium was electric. Like you played, was it the full 90?
Yeah, played the full 90. So that
didn't need extra time there, but I know that much because we did so well.
Did not need the extra time. I think there was a point, it was about the 89th, and I looked up and see how much extra time they put on. I'm just, gosh, get this game over with, please. It wasn't our outing. I mean, just weren't clicking. But those first 10 minutes, I mean, just the warm up, you're walking out to the national anthem, fireworks going up, stadium's roaring. You can't. I'm walking out next to JP. I'm trying to tell him something and can't even hear. And then those first 10 minutes go and you're shouting at people, we're giving orders in the back, and you could just, they can't hear us. It was so loud. It was electric from you guys and from Casey. Like we started on Casey's side right there, and that was tough to deal with. They brought the noise, but when you guys would start your chants, we could hear you guys from all the way down there. It was crazy.
So I got to ask again. I don't want to linger on this, but knowing that their 3 strikers or their 3 forwards they had up there, one of them has a lot of caps for the Scottish national team. Other one had just come back from Hungarian national team international duty. And the third one had just been 2 seasons prior been playing in the Bundesliga. Per transfer market, which we all know those numbers are bullshit, but per transfer market, that was $18 million worth of contracts starting out against you guys. Like how does it feel like when you have another team that like they're playing 2 tiers above us, but that they're respecting you so much that they're starting their starters? Like, how does that make you feel as a player? I mean, not when they're scoring goals on you, but just like going in and seeing that lineup.
Yeah, so I'll get back to that question, but funny thing, I played those 3 in preseason with Rising, and we beat them 2-1. And I played the second 45, and we held our own at my half. They didn't score, but so I had a sense of what they were coming with. Obviously, it's preseason; they were taking it. But back to your question, so going into it, I'm thinking, all right, I've played these guys. Like they're obviously levels ahead, but it's like, all right, we're gonna be able to handle this. And seeing that lineup, I'm going, yeah, finally a team respects us, because Minnesota played some of their bigger guys. They didn't play Reynoso, which was, I mean, you always want to play against the best, and we won the game, and it worked out for us. But it would have been even sweeter to beat them with him in the lineup, no question about it. But so going into that game, and you see them, and that how much money they're on, and how long they've been pros and everything, and you get a good sense of yourself because finally it's someone. Because after we beat Chicago, you heard all their fans saying, "Oh, didn't." There were some young guys out there, but they subbed on a bunch of their guys and still handled our business. But yeah, so finally someone respected us, and it panned out their way, But it is what it is. But
I mean, the game happened. We don't have any more distractions.
Before we started recording, Luke and I talked about how we both wore our IX kits on without planning it. I was going through my kits in my closet, and I landed on my Johnny Russell Sporting Kansas City, and I said, "Can't wear that tonight."
It'll hurt my feelings.
I couldn't do it to you.
Yeah, hurt my feelings. No, he's a good guy. I talked to him a little bit in Phoenix when I was up there because they did their preseason there, and we trained right after them. So he's a great guy, but freaking Connor beat me to it. I went to him after the game. Hey, can I get your kit? And he's like, I'm sorry, Doyle already asked me. I'm like, I wanted that one.
Yeah. So in Phoenix, there's a friend of the pod who plays on that team. Did you get to train with Greg? Was he back in the States yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I made good friends with Greg. We hung out a couple of times outside the pitch too. But yeah, I mean, I was there for a month, so I was basically part of their team for. I think after a week and a half in, all the guys are like, "Oh, they're gonna sign you." Like, no doubt about it. They brought me in. Like they sent all the trials home, and I was the only one left, and they brought me in. The team was really enjoy having me around. But yeah, so I got a good sense of Greg. He's a great guy, funny guy. He's funny guy. But
he's a bit of a goon.
I knew the answer to that, Luke. I knew the answer because I was messaging with Greg after you guys played Sporting, and I was like, "How was it to be with a Scotland legend out there?" Because he was going up against Johnny a couple times. So
yeah.
Well, with that, like, did talking with Greg, after he got let go by Phoenix late on, one of their last decisions there. Did talking with Greg influence you coming up here?
Yeah. I mean, he said it's a good deal. JP really sealed the deal for me, because obviously Rick brings me into his office. He's like, I want you to play your first year. I don't want you to sit behind four center backs, like they're older. And so I was like, okay. And I thought about it. And so I called my agent and I'm like, hey, what do you think the best thing is? And obviously I've talked to Greg and he's like, yeah, Omaha's good. Like we won the championship and everything. I'm like, okay. Like, and then JP, I called JP and he's like, bro, you just basically told me I need to get up here. And so I trust his word. The guy's my brother, so I trust his word. And glad I made that decision coming up here.
Can you talk to him about his accuracy from distance? I've been trying to do that for 3 years.
Don't get me started with that guy. Me and him have almost came to blows over who could win a header. We were like 18, 17, almost got in a fight, debating of who could win a header. I can't tell him anything. He doesn't tell me anything unless it's constructive criticism, But
I mean, if you just want to start like shooting 25-yard bangers and scoring every time, and then telling them how you did it, I'd be okay with this.
Yeah,
agreed. It's constructive that way.
Okay. Yeah, he's
so. I want to just kind of had a few this or that questions thrown by one of ours, mixed in with some others, just some rapid fire. So like first thing comes to your head, fine. And then we're going to jump into like the really, really hard stuff, the questions I got to ask you because we got to know. But some fun here first. These are fun, right?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Brian, you want to go with the rapid fire? I'll do the this or that.
Yeah. All right. So, fave Omaha combo kit combo you guys have had?
I think black, white, black.
Black,
All
white,
right.
black.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. What's your go-to pregame meal?
I mean, they give us our pregame meal, but if we had to get a meal on our own, it'd be Subway.
Oh, right on. If you weren't playing soccer, you would be.
Ooh, I think I'd be in comedy movies. That's I think.
Yeah, I like that. In our last rapid fire, I already know the answer. It won't be, but who's your favorite pro soccer team outside of Omaha?
Chelsea, easy one.
Oh.
All right, we're done. We're done here.
Yeah,
All right,
somebody
all
didn't
right.
school him well enough.
Yeah. This is an Ajax pod. You answered wrong. All right, Nike or Adidas?
For
just
in general.
Yep.
Nike.
All right. He's been coached well.
Good. That's a good answer.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
All right. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
All right. Grass or turf?
Grass.
Seafood or steak?
Seafood.
All right. Baseball or golf?
Baseball.
All right. He chose the more interesting of the two boring sports.
Yeah.
All right. Why aren't we winning more games in the league? I told you we were going to have fun first, and then we're going in. But
all right, here we go. I just think the guys we're getting more motivated as it goes on. I think the Open Cup, those were really long weeks, and it's not an excuse for us not to perform, you know. But those were really long weeks for a bit, and traveling so much, and again, no excuse. But I think J Mims is doing a good job starting to light a fire under some guys, and just get a little more competitive, you know, to have to score goals, you know, and just defend and score goals, just lighting the fire under us, you know, just really getting us going without getting into too much, you know. But I think we're starting to maybe come around a little corner and get into that.
So to soften that a little bit, the reason I asked that is this is the most talented team we've had. Like that, I personally just like watching y'all play out there. Our bench is as good as our starting 11. Our starting 11's as good as our bench. Like there's not a bad player on this team or anybody who you know I look at and like, oh, you shouldn't be starting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just seems like you know, really that fire just has to be lit because you guys had such a tough start to the season. But like, has the chemistry been building? Like you spent so much time on the road, so that you stuck with roommates in your hotels. Everybody's eating the same meals, same place. You know, find out who's going to Starbucks at the airport. You know, like like are you guys starting to get to a point where it's like second nature on and off the pitch? You know, you just feel comfortable with everybody, and that's starting to translate to practice into the games.
Yeah. I don't think that was ever an issue. Team chemistry. The boys have clicked since pretty early on. You know, obviously those first weeks, people are coming in and everybody's sizing each other up. You know, but I think a couple weeks in, especially after that Chicago win, I think the team was pretty much gelled together. You know, like obviously not everybody hangs out with everybody, but I think it's good team chemistry all around. No one gets. I think everybody can have a conversation with everyone.
All right. I mean, just watching like where we're from, like that Menace game, which was the first competitive match we had, from when you were still a trialist with us down SKC2. No, seeing how everything's gone from that point up to where it's at now. Like the way this team just seems to be playing off each other, supporting each other when somebody is looking a little down. Had some mistakes that happened, but everybody seems to be trying to build each other up. There's no quit. Like North Carolina. Sorry, there's 2 teams in North Carolina this year, and it's still just getting confusing for me. But North Carolina this past weekend, obviously everybody was going to be more hyped before thunderstorms rolled in, and they tried to, Heavens tried to cancel the game. But they came in, they got a lucky goal with a player looked like in an offside position, potentially trying to draw the play. That level, but then just there's no quit. Like, there's been you getting subbed on or Alex getting subbed on late in the game to put us 5 in the back, so we're not giving anything up. But the ability of this team to just, everybody stays positive and fights back for every goal, every minute of the game. Like, how are you guys keeping that energy up? Is it just the camaraderie there, or like is the hunger for those points just really extremely real?
I think it's a bit of both. I think just everyone wanting to play for each other. Like we got each other's backs. I'll go to battle on that field. Everything. All those boys will, and that's a big thing. Because you look to your left and you see one guy, and you're like, I'll play for him. You look to your right, see another guy, I play for him. So it's like everybody's going, and we've been unfortunate to not put away a couple games that we came away with 1 point with, but yeah, the not wanting to lose is a big thing too, and group of young guys. It's a long season, and we're coming from college, and when you only play 15 games in 2.5 months, it's been a lot different. Like it's a big change, and so I think a lot of guys are adjusting, but at the same time, we gotta start. It's crunch time now. I know we have a couple games in hand, but I think it's time that we start actually putting away those games. Hopefully starting this weekend.
Well, I think too, the thing that the defense has stayed where Jay likes it to stay. I mean, you guys have given up 9 goals total this season, so we're not shipping goals left and right. But we've only scored like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the other side of it, is a lot of 1-1s, 2-2s, 0-0s, where the defense is holding it up, and we just got to get guys that can score on the other end. And Jay's told us how many times, Luke, the hardest thing to do in soccer is score a goal. And that's we see it. And I think last year spoiled us quite a bit. I don't know how much you watched any of our games, but you got guys like Greg and Evan, and these guys are scoring bunches of goals. And so that kind of spoils you a little bit, and people forgot about even our 2020 season, where even though it was a half season, it was very similar to this, where we were struggling to score, but our defense was what kept us together. And I think if you guys keep doing that on the defensive end and the offense comes with it, we're going to start winning a lot more games.
Mm-hmm.
And you got those home games.
Yeah, no, finally. That was another tricky thing too. Those first 2 or 3 at Werner, it not that it didn't feel like a home field outside of the pitch, but on the pitch, just because we hadn't played on it, and how many new guys, it's their first or second game on it, and so it was a bit it's like a new territory. It didn't feel like an away game, but it didn't feel truly home. And I think now that we're getting into it with Werner, it's like I feel like guys are getting a little more comfortable and comfortable on it. But yeah, I think the defense is gonna do the job, and the attack will do their job, and it will start clicking hopefully soon. But yeah, everybody. The thing is with this group is effort. Effort's always there. It's that's rarely the case where you see us on a corner kick and their keeper catches a ball or it gets deflected. You're gonna see everyone sprinting back. It's that's the type of group you have. That the effort's always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I mean, looking at, we've mentioned this pretty regularly on the pod, especially that first game there. You look at Fuego; they brought in a number of guys from League One. Maxi Schenfeld got a red card there like 4 months prior. Like he's pretty well experienced on that field. Like there are guys who've been playing in the league for a couple seasons who've played 4, 5, 6 games. There are guys on other teams that played for Union Omaha. Like your home field advantage for the pitch quality, everything there is less than guys on those teams. When you're starting out, you're not able to practice on it. And Warner Park, like granted, some of that grass plays amazingly. There seems to be a little bicycle ramp in the middle, but it is just such a different pitch dimension. Like when the team looks almost better at this point in the season, playing on big fields because that's what you've been playing on, versus playing on our small compact field where other teams have been watching tape or been playing on that field for multiple seasons and know more what to expect than guys like yourself who it's your first year pro. You played. Is that our 4th game there?
Yes.
Sounds right.
3rd or 4th. Like it's still
3rd or 4th,
we're in July.
4th, yeah, 4th.
Yeah, we're in July. Like, and we started in March and we played 4 games at home. Like that's got to be tough for you.
Yeah, and those away games are what get you. You come back and that's just that travel. It's exhausting. But coming back to your home field, having such little experience on it, it's tough making it feel like a home. But I think the boys are getting there now. But those first couple were difficult.
So
yeah, after Charlotte, I was talking to Dalton, and he and I were talking about the Greenville game, and I just said to him, we had some conversations, but there was a lot of guys on that Greenville team that have seen this is their 3rd season being able to play at Warner Park, and we have guys that was the Greenville match was their 3rd match at Warner Park.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of those guys definitely on other teams and Greenville got to play a final at Warner Park, with everything on the line, the biggest stakes you can have in our league. So yeah, you guys will get it though. It's I think defensively it has to keep you on your toes, right? It's such a short field compared to what you're playing on.
Definitely. No.
So, question I've been I always think about after I'm done talking to the players on the team, especially like talking the early season travel because baseball's at home for all of April, May, and June. Do you get to keep your airline and your hotel points?
Yeah, it's a plus. I only do the airline one. I don't do the hotel one, but the airline one is a plus. I mean, I'm hopefully get to travel a little bit in the off season, and those points are going to stack up big.
So yeah, I mean, because we have the furthest travel of almost, or will soon probably have the furthest travel of any other team, with Santa Barbara being announced, and our nearest 2 teams are Colorado and Wisconsin. So like, if you're not getting those, like you got to coach some of those guys who aren't, because I know there's somebody who's not getting those points.
Yeah, no, there's probably quite a few that aren't taking advantage of that.
I mean, you can just offer to take them for them. Rack that up, take your girlfriend somewhere nice, like it'd be good.
I should, huh?
But okay, back to something more. With some of the like challenges we've had this season, like what have been your favorite moments, both in the regular season and in Open Cup?
So regular season to start it off is the 3-0 win at home. I mean, it was great. It was although the game was a little sloppy because that wind was kind of crazy, but you come away with 3 points and a 3-0 win. You're gonna in front of your fans. You're gonna be excited, and you guys were great. So that's got to be up there. And all the Open Cup, the whole Open Cup, I'm gonna just put it in one category. That's pretty special. That I don't think you could separate many of those moments, especially those two MLS games. Like you can't. Even I'll say three, because there's great moments that came from Kansas City. So there's those, and just I think those are the two biggest ones right there. That win in front of the home crowd. We haven't been able to get another one at Werner, but I think those are the best moments. Or winning at home. I mean, winning on the road is great, but winning in front of your fans is it's second to none.
I mean, you got Saturday.
Yeah.
You just say it. Just say it. Giving you some hints.
Yeah. No. Saturday should be ours.
They've been known not to show up at Warner Park, so it's fine.
Tucson. I heard.
Yeah, Tucson.
I heard they took one to us last year.
They did, but that wasn't at Werner.
Wasn't that at Werner?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
No, Morrison.
Okay.
Ask him about the semifinals.
No, the semi. Did you guys play them last in the semis?
Yep.
At Werner.
All six to their one.
Oh, geez. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Yep. Like, as far as like where you're expecting your midseason, your first pro season, how is this kind of living up to expectations? Like for what you wanted, what things you thought were going to be hard that have been easy, what things you thought are easy that are stupid hard. Like where are you at?
So the season's been full of ups and downs for the team and for me. Obviously as a player, you want to be playing every minute you can, and I've never been on a bench in either sport I've played. I've never sat I think my first game ever starting a game on the bench. I've never actually been really injured for a game too. Knock on wood, I mean, got it.
Yeah, he's got to fight.
Knock on wood. Yeah, knock on wood. But so my first game sitting on the bench was Des Moines, and it was different, but it showed me because there's guys who played, Dalton and Alex is his second year, and so seeing guys play, and it was good. It's good to learn, I'm learning from them every day. But those games I get to start, I mean, I love it. I want to play every second I can, but at the same time, if my role is in a game is coming in last 10 minutes, holding a lead, or last 10 minutes, let's find a goal, I'm more than happy to do that for the team, and for myself, because it's still, at the end of the day, it's contributing to the team, But and some of the easy things that I thought were going to be hard, or no, I'll flip that around. Some of the hard things I thought were going to be easy was, just simple. It's the simple things, like the simple ideas. Like you're so used to overcomplicating the game when, say, last year Division One, you can. I played right back for them most of the time at UNOV, and I can go dribble 2-3 players down the line, whip a ball in, or something like that, and you're not doing that every time. Like there was one time I in training, I forgot who it was. I think it might have been Dion or something. I pushed the ball past him, and I'm used to just running right by him, and it didn't happen. And I was like, well, this got to have other ideas, like those certain things just became more difficult.
Well, that leads me to a point here. Like you've got a couple guys on the team who, in their 10th, 11th, 12th year of being pro, like Connor, obviously second year at Union Omaha, captain, great guy, fantastic on the pitch. But then you've got new guys coming in with tons of experience in Dion, Kamal, Giovanni. Like, how are you able to pick things up from them? Granted, they're not playing the same positions as you, and I'd love to see you in like a midfield role, because I feel like you just got the physicality and tenacity that you could show up some of those other midfielders in the league. But like, are you picking up a lot from these guys who have so many years pro at all levels?
Definitely. I'm always analyzing, trying to get better. I mean, that was one of the big things I took from football is you watch so much film in football, and you're always picking things up. Even the littlest things like steps they take, and every single person I've picked things up from on this team. Obviously, more than others, But even, I mean, Sheetal will help me out all the time. Like he'll tell me little things because he sees the game. He'll tell me little things, and I'll watch his footwork sometimes on some of the stuff he does, and I try to pick up a bunch of things from everyone, no matter the position.
Spoken like the true son of a coach.
Yeah.
I had one too in my house, so I know the feeling.
You know how it is. Yeah, you know how it is.
Yep. With that, like with Shido on the back line, it's his third season here, Union Omaha, Dalton there. Like they've been playing together now three seasons. Coming into that environment, like is it easy to slot in with those two? Or is it something that you're finding like, oh, I've got to step back, I got to learn a little bit more before jumping in, or they just, I know Rashid can be like, he can be loud on that pitch, and Dalton's quiet off the pitch, but you put him out there, and there's sometimes where she's like, holy shit, Dalton, I didn't know you talked that much.
Yeah, no. So it's an adjustment. I think I was talking to Connor actually today, because we were doing some things like 10v9 and stuff like that, and I wasn't with Dalton or Alex. I had my own back line, and I'm so used to controlling my own back line. So that was coming in. It makes me so much more confident and everything, being able to control my own line and where I want people to be. So it makes the game come to me a little easier. But you slot in there with Dalton and Shido, and not that it makes it harder, but I do have to take a step back and let kind of Dalton control that line, and I'll help him do that. And then you have Shido behind you, which I've played with a lot of great keepers, but Shido is by far one of the best players I've ever played with. It's weird to say that about a keeper, but he's unreal. I mean, it's ridiculous. It sucks training with him when you're on the other team. The 5v5 against them, it's not fun. It's not fun. But yeah, so it's a different role, but I'm enjoying it, and I think it's gonna benefit me in my future. Couple years in, and I'm definitely gonna take things away from both of them. But yeah, it's controlling your own line for me makes it a bit easier. But
yeah. All right, like that's just it's a tough one because you are like, you're coming into that, and these are guys we've watched since Dalton, I guess, wasn't first year pro, and Cheeto wasn't first year pro, but they really came into their own with us, we felt like. And we want to see you guys get there, but there's the same, like, we're so familiar with these two. They've done well for us there. Does that sort of pressure ever enter into like your Alex's minds? Like, everybody knows their names, and it's like shouting them on from the sidelines, but you're not hearing your name being shouted out as much.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Alex on that because I don't know where his head's at with that, But I've been on both sides of that. I've been on where you're the man, people love you, and then not that I don't feel the love from the fans still, but that you're not the main one they're shouting out and stuff. So I've been on both ends of that, and it doesn't really faze me because if anything, it pushes me to get to the point that they are, But yeah, so it doesn't really faze me.
Well, I mean, that's definitely one of those things where hoping you coming on here, is going to get your face out there. People get to know you. People, instead of calling you by your full long name, maybe start seeing you in Blackstone. You get randos calling you G wandering down the street. Like,
yeah, definitely.
We're going to turn you into a local celebrity, whether you like it or not.
Okay. No, I love that. We'll go from there.
All right, Ryan, you got a couple here?
Yeah. So we got a couple questions from your family members. So,
okay.
Do you want me to start with your mom's questions or your dad's question?
Start with my dad's question.
All right. So, I'm going to start with the one that's about soccer. So, your dad wants to know, how are you staying motivated to continually work to improve your skill set? This is such a coach question. It's ridiculous.
He texted me this. Why am I answering this on the pod? He texted me this. How do I stay motivated? I mean, he
was giving you prep.
Yeah. I know my goals and I know where I want to be short term and long term. Like with this team, I see us winning a championship this year. Like I don't care that it's a bunch of our first years and stuff. I think we for sure have the capability to win a championship. We're a super talented team. So in short term, that I want to contribute to that as much as I can, But long term, I mean, obviously I want to end up where those guys in Kansas City are playing every week, with 19,000 people at their games. So it's that's how I stay motivated. I know where I want to be, and I know I got a good sense of what I have to do to get there.
All right. His other question is actually both your parents sent a question that I think they're trying to pit you against each other. So your dad asks, which family member inspired you the most?
My little brother. My little brother, Nate. Big Nate dog.
Follow that one up with your mom's first question, which is, who's your favorite parent?
Yeah, just to piss him off. It's my grandma, my grandparent, Norma.
Ooh.
Yep.
I love that answer.
This boy must have gone through press training. Like that's such a deflective answer. Like, it's beautiful.
I'm not gonna answer that one.
Trying to set you up. Yeah, that's awesome. Your mom did ask though what your favorite soccer memory is. So I'm guessing she has one in mind, maybe. But
soccer memory. Oh, there's so many. It's I don't know. Probably making. There was no crowd or anything, and or there was a little crowd, but probably making my professional starting debut in Tormenta. There was probably 13 people there. I didn't care, those jitters and everything I got before that game, where you're finally, because I had been subbed on before, and it was fine. It was obviously different too, but that first start was it was great. And although we took 1 point out of it, and it seems repetitive, but we held a clean sheet, and as a center back, that's always something that you pride yourself on, is clean sheets. So that's got to be one of them.
Nice. Well, shout out to Brian and Melissa for sending questions
when
they knew that you were going to be on.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to just say, as fans, I think we get frustrated by the lack of wins, because we just know you guys are so much better than the other teams. And that's one of the things, we're watching and we're seeing all the good things you guys are doing, and everything's happening. And it's just that it's J Mims in my ear. It's like, oh, the hardest thing to do in soccer is scoring. Hardest thing to do in soccer is scoring. It's like, damn it, Jake, stop that. But no, I'm absolutely thrilled to get you back at home, so that fans can be there. Believe you guys are all going to be at Barrett's on Sunday for that foot volley tournament going on.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
they
he just goes where
sometimes,
he's told.
Yeah, sometimes they give us last minute things and we're all just like, okay, we didn't should have let us know, and but no, yeah, we'll be there if we're told to be there, we'll be there.
Well, I just say, like, it's at a bar that has good food and you got a lot of fans showing up. Get a free
Sounds
beer,
fun.
get some, but we got home game there, away on the road, and then away on the road because that's the Sunday or Saturday to Tuesday. That's Greenville's going to be fun. That's always a tough one. Their fans are all assholes. But
yeah.
No, I guess
or
I
really
just
good
have
friends of ours.
Yeah, they're all really good friends of ours, but that doesn't mean they're not assholes.
Yeah.
I guess I think I just have one last question for you because hopefully we get a chance to talk to you later in the season and we can harass you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Ryan, do you want to ask it?
Sure. I hope you know the answer because you said you listened. All right. Ready?
JP told
Who gives a hoot?
We do.
We do.
Oh, no.
We do.
We do.
That's great. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
We do.